everybody?
We are back again like we never left. That was a quick little break.
It always feels like the 2 weeks are quick, but
Yeah.
are they really quick?
They're quick. Yeah. Like time truly flies.
It does.
When you have fun.
It
This is fun
does.
for me. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, clocking in to the job that I love the most.
I know that's right. It's like, oh, I love this job. I never want to take PTO here.
Exactly.
We are your hosts. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Vaughn.
And you guys are tuning into Between Us.
Between Us.
And our podcast title today is Healing Wounds. That's
Healing
deep.
them wounds.
That's really deep.
It is.
And it's loaded. I feel like it's a lot to uncover.
It is. I think we all carry those burdens of those wounds, from previous childhoods, just traumatic experiences. And, it's always important for us to have that space for us to talk about those wounds, because if we don't heal them, then they're going to continue to manifest and cause us to kind of, derail some of the newer relationships that we want to build upon.
That's true. I guess I kind of view it like scar tissue in a way. Like it never really truly goes away, but it does start to heal and toughen up over time. I guess a key note to touch is, healing while you're in a relationship, and what is it like to grow as individuals and as a couple? How do you, and I just want to dive right in, if that's okay.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Learning to be patient with wounds that aren't yours.
I think that is the purest form of being able to take yourself out of your own shoes and place yourself in the other person's shoes.
Yeah.
I feel like we both have been able to really grow that skill set, mainly
You
because
better than me.
I think we both have, but mainly because of us being the oldest of our siblings.
That's true.
And us never really having those moments to like truly be selfish.
Right.
Like always having to think about others and like taking ourselves and placing ourselves in their shoes. So I think, being able to empathize and sympathize with somebody else's situation is a true form of that.
Yeah, I think it brings me back to your golden rule, which is treat others the way you want to be treated. And I feel like a lot of the patience that I have now is because of how you are. Yeah.
It took a lot to get there.
It took a lot to get me here. At least we here. Or like some of the key ways that you can, learn to be patient with somebody who is still struggling with their inner self.
I think the one thing to do is be mindful of the journey that they're on. And then try to set at least, like 10, 15 minutes of letting them just have that space for them to vent and talk about those certain things. And I think another thing too, and we probably had touched on this like in the previous episode.
Right.
But allowing that person or asking that person, do you want my immediate response, or do you want this opportunity to actually vent about it?
Right.
And one way to like really allow that person
That's
to
like
have
the
that
best
space.
way of just, being there for that person. Yeah,
It is.
I agree.
It is. What's kind of like your take on that, my love?
Honestly, it just all draws back to being there for that person. I don't know another way that you can have patience for that person. I guess just like really paying attention and seeing, those nonverbal needs. And sometimes people they just need to get out of the house. Sometimes they just need a change of scenery. Sometimes they just need to have a conversation. Sometimes they just need to go get a drink or have some food. And, I feel like showing up for somebody is you knowing them best to see what they need in that moment. And I feel like that's one of the purest forms of patience when it comes to being there for somebody, for sure.
No, that's factual.
Yeah.
That's factual. What was difficult about healing in front of someone else?
That's a tough one. Acknowledging the fact that, you have work to do and really learning to take accountability And that is quite a path that a lot of people struggle with, because who really wants to be told about themselves? Like, I feel like a lot of people could say, oh, I'm open to the constructive criticism and I want to hear it until somebody actually starts telling you about themselves, about yourself. So I think, you know, the most difficult part is definitely taking accountability for what you're going through in that moment, and trying to find ways and processes of making yourself or being a better person where you're at. What about for you?
Between us, I'll definitely say the accountability component is something that will help in that tough situation. I think that is like the hardest thing for you to like really come to terms of. I know for me, my biggest thing was not wanting to communicate the way I felt in certain situations. And I had to really like look at myself in the mirror and ask myself, like, why do I hate conflict? And it stems back, like, it's some really deep wounds.
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking about, this healing process.
Where does it start?
I know for me, being the oldest and, you know, just taking on like different responsibilities and things like that, I think I grew a resistance of always wanting to be in confrontation. And the older I got, the more I wanted to avoid that aspect. And I think me being able to look at myself in the mirror and take that accountability, I was able to realize that, one, that was something that I needed to heal upon myself. And I think, two, you helping me get to that point of me realizing that as well. The way that we got there was literally the same things that we literally just had talked about like in the last 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Allowing somebody to have that open space to talk about the fact that that's something that was very uncomfortable for them, but also allowing them to work on that and get better at it. So the way that I got better at it is times whenever I do feel like, all right, I don't feel like this is working out for me, being able to speak on that and speak with it with conviction and knowing that, okay, this is what I demand for this situation to be better.
Right.
And I think us being able to talk about that and you allowing me to have that space and that vulnerability for me to do that is what allowed me to get better at that.
Yeah.
But that was definitely a deep wound that is still, you know, in that progression stage of me healing.
You're doing great, though. You're doing great. I feel like, you know, with being the eldest, you're just very conditioned to say yes to a lot of things that you would rather say no to. And we found that out pretty quickly. We found that out pretty quickly because, you know, it stems back to, you know, me working from home and you always out and about. So whenever the weekends come, I'm like, let's go, 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 go. And you just saying yes when I know sometimes you just want to say no. You would just rather relax. And, you know, I think it took a conversation of me saying, the more you say yes when you want to say no, you're going to start to resent me more than you realize. And I would hate for you to just explode on me one day.
It's so crazy. Like in that moment when you said that, I literally had like a PTSD moment. And I was just like, damn, like that was some shit that happened in like a previous relationship where like I just kept saying yes, kept saying yes, kept saying yes. But subconsciously, like whenever I did get to that point of like, all right, like I don't feel like doing this shit. And like,
it's too late.
it just exploded. And I'm just like, damn, like, where did that even come from?
That's not even
like,
me.
I'm not even like that mad.
Yeah.
But I was like pissed off, like for real. And I'm just like, damn, like, where did that even come from? But you saying that shit like really has sparked like that moment. And I was just like, damn, like that's exactly what that shit was. Like always just saying yes in those moments when I really wanted to just say no.
Yeah.
But I think for me, and I think you would exemplify it a little bit as well, but like being people pleasers. Being people pleasers.
Yeah.
Like, we always want to make sure that we're the most likable person in the room. But we got to be a villain in somebody's fucking story.
Got to.
We got to be the villain in somebody's story.
Yeah.
And as unfortunate as it is, it's the truth. But that's just one of those things that I feel like, you know, I love to be likable, but at the same time, I'm comfortable being the person that's unliked as well.
Yeah. And what do you feel took you to get to a place of putting those boundaries in place of saying, you know what, at the end of the day, like, it is what it is. What was that turning point for you?
I think it just came from a lot of heartbreak, a lot of disappointment. And I think all of that mixed together helps fuel the next steps of building that resistance or building that resiliency of saying like, okay, if this shit not serving me the way it's supposed to,
Right.
I'm gonna leave that shit alone.
Get tired.
Flip to the next chapter, and
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Like the most fed up person is the person that's definitely gonna make that change that they need.
Yeah. No,
So
that's
I
true.
think that's what truly took me to that point of just being fed up of the bullshit.
Yeah. You said a key word, and that's disappointment.
Yeah.
I think it's like, setting an expectation for people a little bit too high, and then finding out very quickly, like, you're going to disappoint me. Yeah.
And that's, going back to the healing wounds.
What do you feel like is a big trigger? For instance, we're talking about healing wounds, right? So how do you associate a trigger to a wound that's still unhealed?
For me, delivery is the biggest thing. So in the past, I think a trigger for me was, I think we kind of had alluded to it, but always just saying yes in situations where I wanted to say no. And I think a trigger for me is, the way that I'm asked to do something versus me knowing that, okay, like I didn't really want to.
Yeah.
And, going back to like previous relationships and things like that, like I know that you didn't come off and like asking in a crazy way, but I just think like for me, when I'm in a particular headspace or a particular mood, and somebody is asking me to like do something I don't feel like doing, like that's like an automatic like trigger for me.
Yeah.
And like I automatically kind of build up a little bit of resistance, but then I have to like ask myself like, is it truly something that's like detrimental to you?
Right.
Like, is it really gonna like alter like anything in your day where like you can't necessarily get the things that you wanted to get done? So I try to internalize it like that. And then, if it's nothing that's going to be detrimental, then,
That's a very healthy process of, playing the process of elimination. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, it takes steps.
It does.
But I think having a family and being a dad, being a husband, fiance, like, it takes like the ultimate sacrifice. And yes, there's days where like I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, but then I always have to think about my family. My family needs me in certain capacities, and I know I need myself in certain capacities as well.
It's important.
But my thing is being able to merge the two. That's going to be a healthy balance for both. So
No, that's solid. Like, definitely coming up with the balance is, I think, the most difficult part. And that's something that we honestly still try to figure out on a day-to-day basis. It just depends on what the day looks like. And sometimes some days are a little heavier than others. And sometimes we just want to stay in bed all day. And that's okay. I think a personal trigger for me is somebody telling me to do something and I was already going to do it. That like pisses me off to a whole different level. Because now I don't want to do it. Yeah.
No, that's funny though, because it's kind of like whenever I'm at work and like I already have the intentions on like already like knocking something off my list, but like somebody just had the nerve to like say like,
friendly
hey,
reminder.
Like, and it's just like, hold on, like
shut
I
the
already
fuck
knew
up.
that I was about to do that. Like, what are we talking about?
Exactly.
No, I can relate
Look,
to
I'll
you.
clock out. You got it.
I'll say that as we continue on this journey and being able to have this space to actually like talk about a lot of the things, I think that has been like the most therapeutic way of us like truly like getting over a lot of like certain barriers that we still have not been able to like really tackle in certain facets.
Right.
Allowing us to like have this space for a podcast for us to talk about it. It's been very therapeutic for me.
Facts. I don't feel like, we have it all figured out. I kind of, like you said, we're learning as we go. This for us is therapy because this is what we do at home anyways. But I feel like we just have like a lot of solid things to share. So why not put it on our podcast Between Us?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I would say out of both of us, the one who gets sought out after for the most advice is definitely you, gang.
You think so?
I know so.
my gosh. I feel like, though, when it comes to that, I like for people to come to me for advice that are ready to make a change. That's another trigger of mine. Like people that just come to me, but, you know, they're not. There's a fine line between being ready to be solution based and I just want to complain, but I'm very comfortable with where I'm at.
Damn.
Whew. Are you solution based? Are we in a solution based mindset?
Yeah.
Or are you just comfortable with where you're at and you just want to vent? Because if that's the case, you need to go get a diary. I'm not the person for you. Yeah.
Damn.
But, you know, I'm learning to have a little bit more patience with people and realizing that not everybody's like me. Because for me, I like a quick fix. Like by the time something's coming up where it's a problem enough to where I want to talk about it, I want to fix to it as well. And I have to realize not everybody processes as quickly. Sometimes people process as they work through things. So
absolutely, I'm one of those people.
But you know what? Not really though. You're very
Certain
solution based as well. Yeah.
Certain situations.
Yeah. You
like
have a good
if
balance.
if I'm ready and I already have made up in my mind, like yes, like it's time to change this, then I'm definitely gonna do it.
Yeah, you do.
But you also have said this too, and you say it a lot. Like I am very routine based.
Ooh,
so
you
like
are.
when I get in a routine, like it's damn near hard to like change that unless like it has become like very detrimental and like I'm not getting X, Y, and Z done.
Yeah.
But I love my routines.
I feel like you in a way live by the philosophy of like if it's not broke, don't fix it. And it works out very well for you. But it is funny like seeing like you will, I will say this about you though, you will try something one time. But you will go back.
It's because of you. I have no choice but to try it and then give my feedback.
Okay, you make it sound like I got a gun to your head.
No, you
like
don't.
One time.
You don't. But I think it has allowed me to like grow and mature because in most situations, like I wouldn't even at least try it. So like I can't attribute that to you because I love the fact that you have challenged me in that particular moment to like maybe at least try it.
Yeah.
Like figure out if you don't like it for real. Because you just judging it and you haven't even tried it yet.
Right.
At least try it first. So I try to adapt that mindset with like anything that, you know, it don't matter what it is. It could be food, like a new route to work, like whatever it is. Like I'm going to at least try it, get an experience off of it. And then if I don't like it, move on to the next thing.
Yeah,
or go back to my routine.
I pride you for at least trying it because there's some people that are very much in the mindset of it is what it is. This is the way I am. You can't teach an old dog new tricks and you just go and deal with it. Have you ever came across those types of people that aren't willing to change?
Absolutely. Unfortunately, I know some personally. And I think that's like a whole nother like can of worms.
Oh, for sure.
But that kind of stems back to the whole, you know, those wounds that they, you know, may have or may not have. But I still think that that is some type of wound in itself.
Oh, for sure.
If you don't have the type of mindset that's willing to at least try something or change for the better.
You know?
Like I think most of the times, some people do get very stuck in their ways and very stubborn and thinking that people are asking them to change just out of the feint of them maybe like just trying to talk down on them or something like that. But I guess it really just depends on like who's giving you that advice and things like that. But I've never looked at like any advice from strangers, anything like that, as like an intimidation or anything like that. Like I'm always open to advice. Or I'm always open to criticism and things like that because it can come from any direction. And I feel like that's God working through somebody else to like give me, you know, that feedback in order for me to receive that.
Yeah, that's a word. Like even it could even be your kid just walking by and saying something. You're like, oh, that was meant for me to hear.
Exactly.
We are very much people of signs though.
Yeah. If I see that shit 3 times,
it's like, oh yeah, like you
can't
deny that. But you know, I am very analytical whenever it comes to determining the root cause of something. And I like to look at it from a psychological approach as to why something started. And I feel like, that type of person who refuses to change their ways typically is probably somebody who was a people pleaser, very young. And, over time was like, yeah, like I'm done. I'm done saying yes. I'm done saying yes. And just turn into a very harsh, cold-hearted person. That's just,
Yeah.
a thought. I don't know if that's the truth, but it's a thought.
Yeah, I feel like shit. That's about 50, damn near 60% of the truth.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
That's how, like, I manage to give people grace where they're at, though, is just, like, looking at a situation for what it is and be like, I wonder if it's because of X, Y, and Z. And then I'm able to not put them in a box and, throw them away. I'm just like, yeah, that probably is what it is. And then I just have a new level of grace for that person.
Absolutely.
I want to hop into segment 2,
Okay.
which is what would you do?
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you, as a person who is going through the waves of growing and healing, and let's say you're doing it fairly quickly, and the person that you're aligned with, your partner, is growing slowly. How do you stay aligned in those moments?
That was a fire-ass question. I think it comes down to the love that you have for that person and having that patience. That is probably like the key foundation. If you don't have patience for yourself, you don't have patience for that significant other, it doesn't matter like how fast you're going or how slow they're going. We have to have patience because they can't, get it as fast as you probably can. So being able to like go back and like reach a hand out to that person and try to guide them through that journey because maybe they just need like an extra person to help them through it. Maybe that's probably why they're going at it at a slower pace. Yeah. So you never know.
Maybe they don't feel as supported, you mean?
Exactly.
Okay.
That could be, a possibility, but I think being able to like go back and like redraw some of the lines and like really figure out like how come, this person feels like they're probably struggling at this particular growth element, or like what is it that's like the true barrier or the true hesitation on why they can't progress at a faster rate. That would be my approach.
That is an amazing approach. That's just why I just love you so much. Like, ooh, I love that for me.
Yes, ma'am.
No, that's great. What do you do though if that person they just can't seem to meet you where you're at? Let's say you try.
Yeah, so you have to ask yourself, and I think we kind of had talked about this on a previous episode, but is that particular person worth you being able to stick it out in the long run if it does come to that point? Because if they're giving you a lot of, resistance to you at least trying to help them, get onto a faster pace or, whatever the case may be, then you do have to ask yourself, like, is that person like worth, that effort and that energy and everything that you're trying to pour into it?
Absolutely.
And if they're not, and they're like just truly adamant on just saying, you know what, I damn near give up. Yeah. Then I think that's like a telltale sign that that person truly isn't aligned with the goals that you guys do have, longevity wise.
Facts. And I look at it like you have one life. And I know that's such a cliche thing to say, but and that it goes quick. Like I feel like each time we blink, 3 weeks have gone by. So it goes so quick. And then one day you're just looking at yourself in the mirror. You're like, damn, I got like 7 gray hairs. That's crazy. I was just playing outside on a scooter the other day, and now I got gray hairs.
I'm not gonna lie, adulthood is the worst hood ever.
It's
like
ghetto.
It truly makes you realize, like, damn, like I'm about to be 31 next week.
Happy early birthday, babe.
Thank you, baby. I'm about to be 31.
Yay.
And the older I get, the more like I just try to like reflect on like some of the things that I've done in life, like where I want to go, things that I still need to accomplish, like all that shit, right? Yeah. But then I'm like, damn, like in another like 10 years, I'll be 41, and another 10, 51. So it's like the concept of time is just like crazy as hell.
It is.
Because 10 years ago, I was 21.
Yeah.
And like, that was the littest fucking time of my life. Like, I'm worried about going to the bars and all this other shit. Now that I'm 31, 10 years later, all I want to do is just stay at the crib and just chill and watch fucking TV.
Yeah.
It's crazy as hell.
It is. But you know, you go through different walks of life.
You do.
And you're making it look great. And I'm proud of you.
Thank
I
you.
feel like, you know, going through your 30s is going to be such an exciting new era. I don't know why people get so afraid of age. Like, I feel like it only gets better. I really feel like, you know, your 20s are meant for building, and then your 30s are meant for living. And then from what I've heard, 40s and 50s is just great. I'm excited.
I think it...
But I'm also only 26, so I don't know.
I think for men, and I can only speak to this, you know, for myself, but it just seems like after I turned 21, like there hasn't been like any like true excitement for like the next year of my birthday. And I think the reason being is because like I never really had the chance to like celebrate it in like different capacities and things like that. Like it's always just been like throwing a big party and then that's it. So I think being able to celebrate it in a different way, on a different light, it may feel a little bit different. But I can say last year was probably by far the best birthday I ever had. Reason being is because I got the opportunity to propose.
Yeah.
And that shit was like epic in itself.
Yeah.
I was so fucking scared, but I was also like, bro, like, this is my birthday.
Yeah.
But I'm also like taking a leap of faith and like just doing something that's just like outside the box for somebody to do on their fucking birthday.
You entered your 30s with a bang for sure.
Yeah.
You said, I'm gonna take it home.
But yeah. But no, I think for some people though, like, you know, kind of getting back on topic with the wounds. For some people, probably going into like those next years of their birthdays and things like that, it could stem from, you know, a very traumatic thing that happened on their birthday. So some people probably don't want to celebrate it like how the way others do. I know for you, a birthday is like a really big thing.
Really big, yeah.
But for me, like, it wasn't like, it was big. Like my parents, they did a really good job at like always celebrating us and things like that. But I think it came down to the fact like we never really had like a super grand, like super big birthday.
Gotcha.
Or like it really like, you know, had a lot of like just different, I guess like just different meanings and things like that. But I know for you, like your mom, she went above and beyond, like, and it was 11 of y'all for like each birthday. So like your concept of birthdays and my concept of birthdays were like on two different things. But I feel like now that we've been able to like come together, like it has merged a lot.
Yeah.
So
I feel like I try my very best to make it my priority, knowing like how you feel about birthdays, to ensure like I give you the best fucking time.
yeah.
Like it's gonna be my goal to hit that sweet spot each time, because I just want a reaction that's like, oh my God.
Hey,
I think
you've been able to do that.
I think like your first birthday that we celebrated together going to Vegas, I feel like that was a good starter.
It was, bro. It was. Like, that shit was breathtaking. Not gonna lie.
I'm excited for you to see what I got for you next week.
Jesus.
But, you know, circling back to, you know, how you said, is some people really worth the time and the energy? And back to what I was saying, like, you only get one life. And, you know, one day you are going to have to lay on your deathbed. And you are going to have to reel over your life and think about the fact that was each moment, was each hour, and was each minute spent with the people that I wanted to be with in the places that I wanted to be. Like, was it worth my time? Because those are moments that you can't get back.
Exactly.
And if you feel like you can't confidently say, yes, like, oh, it was all worth it, I can rest in peace. Yeah, it's time to disconnect.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because there's too many fish in the sea to be caught up on one bad fish.
That's a word right there.
It is. Topic number 2. Let's say your partner shuts down during conflict. Do you give space or do you push through?
Whew. We got some personal accounts on this one. I think our very first like disagreement, coming from like previous relationships, like I said, and even like childhood, like conflict was like the one thing that I just always wanted to steer away from, because I just felt like I couldn't find my voice in those moments that I needed to stand up for myself.
Got
So
you.
when we had our first disagreement, it felt like I was on Front Street, because now you about to see my biggest flaw, and that's me not having like that effective communication in those heated moments that I needed. But I learned that for me, it's not about trying to effectively communicate in that moment, because I know that that's not my strong suit.
Right.
But what I've been able to establish for myself is knowing that I need at least like 5 minutes for me to like leave the situation, let it simmer down a little bit, collect my thoughts, and then re-enter into that conversation. Because I feel like if I'm trying to like talk to you right then in that moment, I don't have like a clear mind. So I'm about to say some shit that I don't mean.
Right.
And I feel like that shit is gonna go in a completely opposite direction. So when we had that first disagreement, I know for you, you really wanted to like talk it out right then and there.
Yeah.
And for me, that wasn't gonna work.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I'm so pissed off and I'm so mad, I can't effectively talk to you the way that you would want me to. So I needed that 5 minutes for me to leave the room and then come back and effectively communicate with you. So I think, you know, it's not depending on the person, but it shouldn't be any pushback to the point where like we can't resolve the conflict.
Yeah.
Now, if it gets to that point, then like you said, you need to go ahead.
It is what it is.
Yeah, you need to go ahead and leave that situation alone.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it does come down to the communication aspect. Yes, we probably are not going to address it right then and there, but it's going to get addressed. We're not going to go to bed mad at each other.
Yeah. I want to touch on something though, because I think one of the worst things is realizing that you guys have two different is that a word? Communicative?
Maybe. It's a word today.
Two different communicative styles in the heat of the moment. And I think that's why we were both like a deer in headlights. That's why it's so important, you know, as you're getting to know that person, to ask the important key questions like, how do you resolve conflict best? Like, what is the best way that
sound like a job interview question.
No, but it's true. But it's so true, because once you already know these things, like there's no room for, you know, being confused. Everything's understood. It's like, all right, I know he's going to need 5 minutes. And that's reassurance for that person as well. I think just a lot of people skip over that. You just fighting fire with fire. It's never going to go good. So it all leads back to communication overall.
It does. It does. My question to you, how did you feel knowing that I didn't give you an immediate response when you wanted it right then and there, and I needed to take that time?
Frustrated. And I think I was frustrated because, again, that was not a conversation we had until later.
Yeah.
So learn from our mistakes.
Facts.
But also acknowledging the fact that I can't get what I want by throwing a tantrum. And in order to compromise and, you know, reach a place of resolution, I have to give you that space and trust that you will meet me in the middle too. So, you know, for the first time I was frustrated, but I also understood, because I can't even lie. Yes, I wanted to, you know, speak on it in the moment. And because the way I am, I'm just like, all right, let's bounce back. Like, there's too many beautiful things to experience in the world than us being mad at each other for a few moments. I hate being upset. We're just two happy-go-lucky people. But I also, you know, realized in that moment that I needed time too. And I think like you teaching me self-consciously, hey, I need a beat. I'm like, hey, I need a beat too. And I was just so, you know, anger focused, but taking that time to take a step back, I was like, I can actually approach this with a level head. And so, you know, it was forced on me at that moment, but it worked out. Like, I wasn't mad. I tried it. I tried it. So I feel like, you know, we've gotten to a really good place depending on what the situation is. And I don't even like to say argument. I like to say like debate or disagreement is going on. Disagreement. I like that.
Yeah.
But just, finding what it is that situation needs in the moment, whether we need to take a beat. And sometimes we could just squash it because it's really never that serious.
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely. But I will say that it did feel very defeating when I kind of like figured out like what your communication style was in those moments.
Defeating?
And I was just like, damn,
oh no.
Like, how the hell do we not like figure this out beforehand? And kind of like you said, like that would have made more sense for us to like ask that question. But like you so head over heels and like trying to find out everything else that conflict resolution isn't a fucking topic for you to even be talking about.
It needs to be like one of the biggest things.
It does.
Like the first question, really.
Yeah.
Because how a person is when they're upset
is a completely different person.
It's a completely different person. That will shock you. And it takes a lot to get you angry. Yeah. So.
Yeah. You want to know what's so funny, though?
Funny,
and
bro?
not to like bring zodiac signs into this shit. But
no,
like,
it's true.
Fire, bro.
Yeah.
Like that shit is a crazy ass combustion because when you pissed off and I'm pissed off, like it can be a lot of fuel sometimes, but I am so appreciative and grateful that we do have growth mindsets.
Okay.
That we don't allow that shit to like hinder us or like make our relationship falter because we don't know how to like resolve a minor conflict or a larger conflict.
Yeah.
Like that shit is just like really just thinking about it. That has been probably like the number one way that a lot of relationships have failed because they don't know how to talk through those situations.
And I feel like one of the main things that we do to help us reach that point of resolution quicker, we're not petty. I feel like being petty is just like adding fuel to a fire. Like we don't, have you noticed that? Like we're not petty. We don't throw subliminals. We just really take that time. Like that's how you know that we have done some real work because old me, I'm on Instagram. Looking for quotes.
Bro.
Yeah,
the funny thing is, I had seen some shit. It was like either on TikTok or Instagram. And this one dude, he was like, man, like, if I ever get into it with my girl, like, just depending on, like, what it is, like, on some super petty shit, I'm going to take all the charger little blocks from all her cords,
That's
bro.
Terrible.
I said, yo, like.
Yeah, thank God that, I feel like you get to a place of going through so many bad relationships that when you finally get to a great one, you're just like, I'm going to do it and I'm going to be on my best behavior because I actually want it to work.
Facts.
And you both have to want it to work.
You do.
Yeah.
Like that fight and that grit has to be like at an all-time high.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I think it also boils down to you like seeing that light at the end of the tunnel with that person. Like if there's no goals, no foundation, no nothing already established, then a small conflict like that can just falter the shit and it's over with after that.
For sure.
So.
And I think all that really simmers down to just respect for one another. Yeah. Like even if I think to do something that may, like I'm always thinking twice, like in those heated moments, like, let me not do this because of perception, and perception is your reality. So just to make sure, like, we don't have any additional hiccups, we're just going to stay clear. And I thank you for having that same exact mindset as me because it has really helped us through a lot. Yeah, for sure. Yep. I want us to get into the next segment.
Okay.
Which is mirror moment.
Yes, ma'am.
And I want to ask you, what did you have to unlearn about yourself in order to love better?
What did I have to unlearn? I think what I had to unlearn is not trying to, I think I had talked about this in a previous episode. Sorry. I had to come to the terms that I didn't truly have the right intentions going into a relationship. So I had to unlearn the negative intentions and reinforcing positive intentions when I'm going into a relationship. So one of the most positive intuitions that I had was truly understanding this person inside and out more than I understand myself. If you don't put like a true emphasis on like what it is that you are intentionally trying to do with somebody, you could definitely lose sight of that.
Do you feel like, though, that mindset just came with getting older and wanting to settle down? Or do you feel like it took a person to make you change that part about yourself?
I think it was kind of like a mixture of both. I think at some point in your life, you do get to that point where it's just like, I'm too old for the games now.
Yeah.
Like, I done played like too many games. Like, it's time for you to literally lock in, tighten up, and like go about this shit the way that you were supposed to in the first place.
Right.
So I think, yes, like it got to a point where like now I'm older. I feel like I'm more established. Like I know myself better. Like it's time for me to have like a better mindset going into relationships.
Yeah.
And, you know, while we're still on this segment of the mirror moment, I did have a question for you.
Okay.
What patterns did old you bring into relationships?
Coming from not the best relationships, I brought quite a few things with me. And it was really just about unlearning certain toxic traits about myself. I think being in a healthy relationship with you realize like, damn girl, you got some work to do. I was like, I've always been able to communicate very well, but realizing that I had a safe space to communicate and, you know, finding ways to connect with you in places that we both can have a meeting of the minds and we are able to fix it. And it didn't leave to like days of us getting upset with each other and, you know, putting our business on social media, just, you know, all the really tacky shit. I very quickly unlearned toxic traits. And
what was one of those toxic traits?
I think over-explaining myself because, you know, my ex was a very insecure person. You're a very confident person. So I would go out of my way to explain things to the point where I think even you would look at me like, why are you like going above and beyond? So yeah, those are, you know, just small things like that. But finding out very quickly, like I can let my hair down and I can breathe and it doesn't have to feel like a rope around my neck.
Damn.
What about you?
That's a hot take. I think a pattern for me was, and it's funny, we talked about it, but doing petty shit. Doing petty shit.
You don't even look like somebody that would hurt a fly.
Man, I was King Petty.
Nuh-uh.
And it was more of like, you do that shit to me, I'm gonna do it to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of me like trying to take that high road and just saying like, all right, that motherfucker did that shit to me, fuck it, like keep it P.
Yeah.
No, I'm like, nah, I'm
diving.
diving.
You where you at.
Yeah, I'm diving in that shit right with you. You feel me? Like I was on that type of time. But I had to learn very quickly that shit is not worth your time. It's not worth your energy. It's really not worth you like jumping into a whole different character that you're not.
Okay.
So me truly having to unlearn pettiness is like the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
But I think it comes so easy because you're not a petty person.
Yeah.
So I never had
Not
to
anymore.
like, thank God, you know, but I never had to like, you know,
Take it
revert
there
back
first,
or
yeah.
like, you know, think about me ever having to do anything petty because I know that you're not going to do anything petty towards me.
And you know why? Because I really value you. And our relationship is not something that I even care to play about. That's the level of standard that I hold it to.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of people need to, like, if you find yourself doing petty things in your relationship, just to piss somebody off or like just
trying to get
trying to get a reaction. Like, does that relationship really matter to you?
Yeah.
is this is the life that you really care to live every single day?
Mm-hmm.
Is this worth your time?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be 60 years old doing this shit.
Mm-hmm. That's factual, my love. Like, you have to have that gold standard when it comes to a relationship that you truly value and that you're really trying to put a lot of effort and energy towards.
Facts.
Like, there's not a day that goes by where, like, I'm always thinking about trying to do something that's gonna, like, harm our relationship, harm you, things like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always thinking of, how can I enhance our relationship? How can I do things better to make you feel better, make Aiden feel better, make us all feel better, at the end of the day. So.
You want to get married tomorrow?
Man. Just skip all the theatrics.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. No, I love that about you, though. I really do. I think, like, the fun part about, because let's say back in the day, we used to be very tit for tat. Mm-hmm. And now we are tit for tat, but in a healthy way. It's
exactly,
like, how can I outgift you?
Bro,
how can I outgift you
That
now?
is the biggest, toxic, if you want to call it
like
that. Every time, especially with the Vegas trip for my birthday in 22, when we first got together, I was like, damn, how the hell I'm going to do something better than this? And then, boom, 23 come around, gifts galore. Gifts galore. I'm like, yeah, I got to up on this one. And then, boom, you come 24 with some new shit.
Listen, I love gifting. I feel like that's one of my biggest love languages.
Yeah, it's mine too.
When I'm rich, the people around me gonna know it.
It's raps.
I love to give. Yeah, I love to see something and be like, oh, you would love this. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But I think that's your love language as well. Like,
it is. I can get you. I understand gift giving better than, trying to purchase experiences and things like that. Reason being is because I think because it's my love language, I love to receive gifts and things like that.
Yeah.
Instead of an experience. But I know for you like experiences.
I do.
You also like gifts, but your gifts require a lot of creativity and a lot of thoughtfulness. And sometimes it's not even that extravagant. It's something really small, just doing a photo album.
I love thoughtful gifts.
Yeah.
I don't get me wrong. I love a good little lavish gift every now and then, but I think what really will have me in tears over anything is a very thoughtful gift. And you did that very, very, very well for my golden birthday.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head.
Man. But I really love the fact that we're truly able to exemplify all the things that we've been talking about these last few episodes.
Facts.
Literally right here, right now.
Yeah.
And we do allow each other to have that space. We literally just had talked about how the fact that I didn't understand, when it came to your birthday, but us being able to relate that communicate that together has allowed us to, plan out more effective birthdays for the years to come.
Yeah. And I love that for Aiden because I feel like, with both of our styles and just how we do things, we just give him a plethora of opportunity.
We do.
We do. If he's not the most well-rounded kid I've ever met, I don't know. I failed.
Bruh, don't ever say that. Don't ever say that.
I won't ever have to.
Exactly. But we're going to dive into the next segment, which is going to be the Q&A.
Oh, we got a few questions.
All right. I think I had started off the Q&A the last episode. So how you feel about starting it off again? Starting it off this time.
I have no reserves about that.
All right.
So I got a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Question is, can a relationship survive if only one person is healing?
Ooh. Hell no. Hell no.
Keep it buck.
Yeah, I'm gonna just keep it all the way 100. No, I think it requires both parties to be healing at the same time. Whether you feel like there's nothing that you can heal from, there's a lot that you can heal from.
Right.
It's just all about you tapping into what that actually is that you need to heal. But if one person is willing to do the work in that and you're just trying to stay stagnant and not even trying to contribute to your healing process or your healing journey as well, that's not going to work.
So do you feel like somebody can be convinced to, because I feel like some people just get so tapped out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like one person can convince their partner to get back into the same headspace of wanting resolution, or do you feel like they should want it for themselves? And if they don't want it for themselves, it's just not a thing.
I think, and we kind of had talked about this too, but it's all about that growth mindset.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, that person has to see that for themselves first. But then I think having your partner being able to influence you and like give you like that support that you need in order for you to like dive into it is what you're truly going to need. I know for me, therapy was something that I always like talked about, but I think us like being able to come together, like it's definitely going to take you, one, knowing that you need that for yourself, but two, having that support from your significant other. Because at the end of the day, yes, like we should be strong enough to like want that for ourselves, but sometimes we do need that extra push or like that extra motivation from somebody that we truly love or that we truly admire to like get us over that line as well.
Yeah. And, you know, I do want to touch on therapy real quick and make it clear that therapy is for healthy minds as well.
It is.
And I feel like everybody needs an outlet. Also, if you can have a professional help you work through what you're feeling and associate those feelings to the actions that you're presenting, you know, to your family, to your friends, to your partners, to your colleagues, wouldn't you want that for yourself? Wouldn't you want enough change to be impactful so that way you can be a better person?
Yeah.
Even if you don't think anything's wrong with you, it's still worth the opportunity to see. Because a lot of people do things and don't even realize that they do it. Your turn.
All righty. So this question is, I want to start saving for a future together, but my partner spends money impulsively. How do I approach that without sounding controlling?
That's a lot. I feel like if you are trying to save for a future and you would like for your partner to do this with you, then it needs to be a combined effort of sitting down, getting an Excel spreadsheet and putting all your expenses on it, really taking a good deep dive into how much you're spending, how much I'm spending, and how much can we spend and save together.
Absolutely.
And taking a look at it from a 2-year plan, a 5-year plan, but it has to be done collaboratively. And if that person is still not trying to see where you're at, you gotta go, because you cannot teach financial literacy. That is a very scary situation.
It is.
What's your thoughts?
I think not having like that willingness to, like you said, sit down and like literally track where the money is going.
Yeah.
You can put yourself at a big deficit when you are trying to like really save and like really try to like invest in your future. I know for me, like I definitely need to see the numbers.
Yeah.
And I remember us, you know, having a conversation a few weeks ago about like how the way our finances are going.
Yeah.
And it took for us, you know, looking at the numbers to like truly get like a better idea of like, okay, some things are a little lopsided. How do we get everything back even to the way that it's supposed to be?
Right.
But it does still boil down to the fact that it takes two people to truly like enter that conversation together.
Yeah.
I can't have like a mindset of thinking like, nah, this is my money.
Yeah.
Or you saying, nah, this is my money.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we have a joint account, and then we do still have our separate accounts. And being able to track those numbers is going to be very beneficial for us to like really truly save for the future that we want.
Absolutely. And it's, you know, little things. Like if you don't track your spending, you get very surprised, because I'm like, where's all the money going? You're like, oh, I spend $20 a month for ChatGPT. Oh, and then $100 a month on DoorDash. And it's just like all the little pennies and dimes that like they add up. So
They do.
As much as you may hate to see it, because I know some people who won't even log into their bank account, you know, go out for the weekend. It's like, yeah, I'll check that shit on Monday.
Yeah.
No, you cannot teach financial literacy, especially in this economy.
Yeah.
Unless you got it like that. I love that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yes, ma'am.
What's
You
your
want to go
next
into the last
question?
one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my partner always forgets important dates, even when I remind them. Am I being too sensitive?
I wouldn't say that person is being too sensitive.
Okay.
I think it comes down to that lack of, this person may have a lack of attention. And what I mean by that is they're not being attentive to that person and the things that are very important to them.
Yeah.
And that's like an ultimate red flag.
Yeah.
Like, say, for example, if I forgot your birthday 2 years in a row, you're going to say, wait, hold on. Like, why the hell? Like, why are we together? Like, what the hell are you doing?
You stay up to midnight. I don't think there's been a time where you haven't literally woken me up at midnight because I'll fall asleep.
Bro, I treat your shit like Christmas.
I love that for me. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but no, that right there is an ultimate red flag. And it just shows like the ultimate lack of just sincerity and truly being like, centered around that person.
Yeah.
Because there's no way like I can go any year and forget any of the important dates.
Yeah.
I even know your family members' birthdays.
Yeah. You're also really
like,
good with numbers. I will say that.
Yeah.
You got a little bit of an advantage.
But no, that's a huge red flag if
Yeah.
somebody forgets like truly important dates, especially if we're in a relationship with each other.
For sure. I feel like the highest amount of love is to be considered. And all it takes is a little bit of consideration to keep important dates in mind that are important to your partner. And if you can't even do that, you don't give a fuck about that person. I'm sorry. That's literally what it is.
No, that's facts.
Call me closed-minded, but you just don't care.
Yeah, because how the fuck can you forget
Continuously?
2 years in a row?
Ooh.
Consecutively?
Consecutively? Yeah, no, that's a lack of consideration.
No, it is.
Get you a man that stays up until midnight to wake you up to tell you happy birthday. Because people like that exist.
They do.
I think too many people settle for the barest of minimums. And I think they just have the mindset of, having a piece of a person is better than nothing. I can't do it, baby.
That's the wounds, man. That's the wounds.
Got to figure out, do that root cause analysis. Like, why do you settle? Why do you not deem yourself worthy enough to have somebody who considers you holistically? What's to that?
No, that's facts, baby. I think, and we don't got to dive too much into it, but I think that stems from abandonment.
Abandonment issues. It's like where you're willing to accept so little.
Yep.
And it's okay as long as you have something.
That's what that stems from.
Good. That's good root cause analysis. I think you're right on that.
Yeah. That has to be.
Yeah.
Because, like, who the hell in their right mind is about to, like, still continuously, like, allow themselves to, like, go through a hurt like that? Like,
Yeah.
I'll be damned if I continuously place myself in a position where, like, you don't even care about any of the important dates that I've literally had to tell you over and over again.
Yeah.
I can understand maybe like the first year you probably didn't know.
Yeah.
But now we're going into the second year of like dating, being whatever the case may be, especially if it's an early relationship. So it's definitely going to be dating. But we go into the second year and there's no consideration upon any of those important dates that I told you last year.
I also think some narcissistic people do that on purpose. It's like, I know it's important to you. I want to make sure you know it's not important to me.
Yeah.
And that's an even worse predicament to be into. But yeah, it's super important to be with people that consider you, that think about you, that, I mean, just overall, to be considered is to be loved fully.
Absolutely.
If you had a quote to sum up how you're feeling, to put this podcast episode to an end.
Wrap it up in a bow.
What you got, baby? Because your birthday's coming up.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
wrap it up in a bow.
I got you. My quote tonight is, we're not perfect, but we're intentional. And that's enough to build with a future, for a future. I said this before, and I'll say it again. Intention matters. If you don't have pure, true intentions on anything that you're going into, wrap it up.
I don't even want it.
Wrap it up.
You got it.
Everything that we do, there's a purpose behind it. And it's all rooted in God at the end of the day. But everything that we do, from when we wake up in the morning to when we go to bed at night, there's a true intention on the way that we go about any situation.
Yeah.
So that's my quote to wrap it up. What's your quote, my love?
You ate with that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's so important to be intentional.
It is.
And I love that you are an intentional man. That's a very important quality. I love that for me. My quote is, the relationship isn't the reward, the healed version of you is.
Damn. What did he say? I'm 57. Damn. No, that was fire.
What is the purpose of having a relationship if you yourself aren't even healed enough to maintain it? You know, more people really need to, and you know, myself included, need to do the work. And until I am fully, holistically there for myself, I can't even begin to look at being there for anybody else. Because if I'm not good, you're not good. Our son's not good. It's so important to have that healed version of you. Make sure everybody around you is on that same wavelength. At the end, that will be the ultimate reward. You know, to know that when you're on your deathbed, you lived the good life, you fought the good fight, and it was worth it to the end.
Absolutely. No, you definitely said a word, because just thinking about anything that you do in life, especially, you know, having a family, bro. Like, you can easily lose sight of who you are, just what made you an individual.
Yeah.
And we always have said, you know, at the very beginning of our relationship, don't lose sight of who you were, because who you were is what I was attracted to.
Exactly. Individuality matters. You gotta stay true to yourself.
It does.
For sure.
It does.
We were talking about that earlier too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you never want to be in a relationship with somebody that you have changed so much that they are just now a shell that you're just dragging along, and that person is not even there anymore.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, loving yourself enough to be confident and letting that person that you're with be who they are as well is really just what keeps the whole relationship thriving.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I couldn't have said that any better myself, honestly. Like, you know, at the end of the day, the way that you are, the way that you carry yourself is what made me fall in love with you. And the way that you are going to also carry yourself in the future is what is going to continue to make me love you forever and ever. But at the end of the day, like, I have to know myself and fall back in love with the things that I used to do before we even met each other. And I think those qualities of who I was before we met is what made you fall in love with me as well.
Oh, for sure.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'll take like few trucks to keep me up off of you. I ain't never coming up off of you.
Type shit. But nah, baby. I think this was an amazing episode.
It was.
I truly hope that a lot of our viewers, you know, really get a lot out of this message. And that is healing those wounds that you know that you are aware of. Because if you don't, it's just going to literally foster new wounds that are going to open up.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that one saying, like, dying by 1,000 cuts or something like that. Like, it's some corporate shit.
Yeah.
But,
No, I got you.
know,
yeah.
that saying,
Yeah.
if you're not intentional in healing that first wound, when the next ones come about, you're literally draining yourself and you're literally going to die.
You preaching. Happy Sunday.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Thank you for that word, babe. Where can I find us? Where can I keep listening?
All the socials are literally going to be in the description.
All platforms.
May have a few that pops up here and there, but you guys can find us on all social media platforms, and you can check us out wherever you find podcasts. Yeah. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all those good platforms.
All those good things.
Yes, ma'am.
Ready to have a good night with you.
Whew. A fantastic night. Now we love y'all, and
thank you
this
for
is
tuning
another
in.
episode of Between Us.
Between Us. Bye, y'all.
All right, y'all.